Hello and welcome to the Bad Guy Reviews, where good movies rise and bad ones burn. Okay, so yeah, I got a haircut and I kind of don't like it only because of the... Well, again, never mind. But, yeah, let's not... No, I don't know why I said that, sorry, but... Oh my god. I'm just hot, okay? I'm hot. I would turn on my fan, but I'm not gonna do too much noise on it. I'm not gonna, have noise in the background. So, yeah. Anyways, so today's Hi Guys Reviews, we are continuing with the Saw franchise with Saw 6. And yes, as you may know, we have 6 days till Saw X comes out in theaters. So we better hurry this up if we're gonna know what happens in franchise. And yeah. So as you may know, in the last Saw movie, Detective Hoffman is the Jigsaw killer and has defeated Agent Strong. So, how will he continue? So is he in the clear, or is he so close at getting caught? Well, friends, let's dig into Saw 6 and continue the road to Saw X, which comes out in theaters September 29th. Right. By the way, no, I'm not sponsored by Lionsgate, so Lionsgate, please, for the love of God, don't sue my ass. And yeah. So the movie begins with yet another trap, because of course, because this is fucking Saw. But yeah. In this trap, A and E and Simone are in a trap called the Pound of Flesh. Why they're in it, I don't know, because I didn't focus on the tape, I focused on the interesting trap. However, the only way to escape for that trap is to use a pound of your flesh, aka your body parts, no matter which it is, and whichever has the most pounds of flesh will live, while the other gets a drill to the skull. Because yes, they are wearing a head device that are that has a skull on it. So yeah. And A didn't want to die for Simone because he's that will only want to live. But here we get the most BS part of this trap. A is, if you've seen the movie, you would know that A is fat. But Simone, she's perfectly healthy. And yet she's being tested. She doesn't have enough flesh to give, so why put her in this type of trap? But there was one way that she knew she could survive, and that is that she chopped off her arm, and at the last second before the timer went 0, she survived. Meanwhile, A gets a drill to the skull and dies. Yeah. And then after the title card, they show a quick, blurry scene of Cecil and Amanda. Why? We'll get back to that later. But I don't know why they show this now, but... yeah. And of course, like how Saw 5 did, they went back to show what happened after Saw 5. Showing that after her Strong get crushed by the walls, Mark Hoffman, in the glass box that Hoffman's on, rises up and he gets out of there. Then he goes back to the same room, opens it up to reveal the remaining body parts of Strong. However, also, there's a hand stuck onto it. If you remember Strong holding the top part, even though you couldn't see it because his other arm was pushing the walls and such. Then it cuts to Mark going to a crime scene, aka the Pound of Flesh trap, and met with Agent Erickson, and they talk about the trap. However, they reveal something pretty clever, and that is that apparently Agent Perez is alive. Just, you can see bits and scars on her face. How is she alive? I don't know. They just wanted to trick Jigsaw with this whole hobo. And yeah. But Hoffman didn't like how they lied to him along with him. However, since now they know that Jigsaw is possibly Peter Strong, they decided to give him full disclosure, so then whatever they know, he'll know. Well then, and that was and Hoffman accepts that perfect ass deal. Then later, he was confronted in the hallway by Pamela Jenkins, and if you remember in the last Body Guy reviews, I said that this was actually a foreshadowing for her to end up in a solid trap in this movie. And then Mark went into the hospital room where Simone, the girl who survived the Pound Flesh trap, came and for some stupid reason asked her if she learns a lesson. And she took it well, just by yelling at him to look at her arm and just ask him how is he supposed to learn from that whole shit. And yeah. Then we cut to our brand new Jigsaw victim named William Easton. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm messing with markers, try to erase border markers. Also, I forgot to tell you that this movie is definitely a Hellcat type of movie. And yeah, I'm not joking. First, we went to two guys in the bathroom, to a sequel, to a medical holding threequel, then to a soap opera, 4 and 5, to freaking Hellcat type of movie. God. It's odd, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Hellcat stuff and all. But I will say, like how one YouTuber sees his world will say, and that is that it would have been pretty helpful in 2020. And I know we shouldn't be talking about this year because back then we was dealing with the biggest global health threat ever. And yeah. But back to the movie. So she was being attorney talking about how she's being sued by the family of Harold Abbott. And the flashback shows why he's being sued. Because all Harold needed was some health care act or something like that. But like a greedy douchebag Williamson is, he denies it and basically sends a death wish. Because Harold Abbott says that you just kill me. Spoiler alert! He ain't lying. He actually died later on. And why later on? Well, I'll get to that soon. Because this is going to be a shocker for y'all. And yes, I'm really using the phone case as a fan for now. Because this is the closest thing I'll get to cooling myself down while doing this Body Guy review episode. Anyways, and yeah, he talks. Then they show a group of people left and right and all. And obviously the only reason is because soon they're going to end up in a Saw trap. Because Saw! And yeah. Anyway, so... Then, meanwhile at a morgue, where the detectives found out, including a morgue person, realized that the knives to cut off a piece of the jigsaw puzzle was the same except for the pound of flesh trap one, because it was different, and it was the same knife that was used from the one in the pendulum trap that upset Baxter's trap. And yeah, so they decided that they're gonna decode the voice on Zach Baxter tape to see if it's really strong. And yes, obviously, if you couldn't tell, Hoffman is literally shitting in his pants. Cause yes, once they found out what's really that tape, he is screwed. Really screwed. And yeah. Meanwhile, it shows the flashback and Saul finds Jill looking in a box, which we finally found out what was it for. Which shows that she has 6 envelopes inside. Then there was this yellow envelope for her later on, but I'll tell you what she does with it later. Then she went back to her cleaning work to probably get a paycheck or something, which Hoffman meets her there, and she tells Hoffman that she wants the notes for the envelopes for the next game. And after so, they can go their separate ways. And Jill also mentions that she's only carrying out John's final wish. However, he only gave him the 5 envelopes. And I'll explain even more of that later. Yes, I know this is confusing, but just shove in, trust me. Anyway, so then there was a flashback of her talking with John, and yeah, it has another bit of aggressive John Kramer you told him about you and me, because he was trying to because he's telling Jill that his little healthcare treatment can help people with their lives and keep them out of drugs. And he proves it with Amanda Young, which she actually tells her that it worked and it helped her. Despite Jill claiming her as a lost cause. Yeah, oh shit. I just smelled my headphones. That later William Easton that was in his office and spotted a silhouette of someone. So he grabs his gun and shoots at them, but it turns out to be a security guard that he shot on accident. Yeah. But then he gets paid because saw people and wakes up in a trap which has him wear a breathing mask and had some bricks between his hips. Then on TV, instead of seeing Billy the Puppet, he actually sees John Kramer himself. And he tells him that he has 90 minutes to go up to his family who are also in this game. But there's 2 problems. 1, he has 4 clamps on his wrists and ankles. Or wait, no, it's 60 minutes, not 90 minutes. Sorry. But yeah. And if he skips the trap, it'll blow him up, and most likely kill him. It's 4 collapses on his wrist. How will it kill him on risk? I don't know. Like, seriously, I don't think it'll kill him. I think it'll just make him lose a limb. But if he doesn't do it on time, then he will never see his family again. Then we fade into a scene of a father, or a mother and a son named Brent and Tara. And fun fact, Brent was played by a guy who went on to be Roderick in Diary of the Whooping Kid movie. I'm not joking. And so basically, we got Roderick Heffley in Saw. Which is funny to think about it when you tell those 2000s kids who've seen Diary of the Whooping Kid franchise. And yes, I say franchise because remember, there's 4, even though we don't talk about the 4th one. Obvious reasons. And they looked around to see what they're at, which they see a jar and a letter that says live or die. And then they saw a TV monitor of William Mason. And Tara figures out that they're there because of their father. And no, don't ask me those questions that I know you're thinking, but trust me, I ain't gonna tell you about it until the end. So yeah. So anyways, this trap is about, or the first trap that he's in is the breathing trap. Where if he takes a breath, a brick will slowly crush his hips and will probably crush his kidneys and lungs and such like that. However, he's not alone in this game. For then he shows Hank, the janitor from earlier in the movie. And the only way to win is for the other one to lose. And yeah, and he leaves them alone to do the trap. And they did try their best to hold their breath, but there was like 2 random problems during so. 1, Hank has a smoking problem. And 2, and this is a sad one, but Hank pissed in his pants. I repeat, an old man who's in a trap because he smokes pissed in his pants. I feel sorry for the dude. Like, it's just smoking. I know smoking is bad for your habit, but goddamn, dude. So yeah, obviously to all those smokers out there, yes, Hank dies because his breathing sucks. Anyway, so William does get the first of 4 belts off him, and then notices that there's a small note that says the party. Why is it called why does it write on there? Because in the flashback he remembers his first encounter with John Kramer, and that is that at Joe's Clinic, and he and John met there. And fun fact, Amanda was also in it, and you can tell just by looking at the background where they're showing John's face. And yeah, and basically William talks to John about his work, and John's like, so in a sense, you choose who lives or dies. Because yes, basically William Mason is like the young version of John Kramer. Just a dickhead way. But he wasn't impressed by it. Because, he thinks the circus critic side is the formula of missing the most important thing, and that's the will to live. Because obviously, that's what they need. Crying out. Yeah, so his next game, at first he was going to skip it, but hears a small beep and walks back to a spot where it shows that there's like 2 handle things that he needs to take. Oh, by the way, this whole trap is in an abandoned zoo. Why abandoned zoo? I don't know, but I think that's random that no one knows that this is an abandoned zoo or something. I don't know. Anybody knows it, but yeah. Then out of nowhere, Billy the Puppet comes down and gets hanged. What tells him that he has to choose who will die in this trap. Will it be his file clerk Alan or his older secretary Addie? He can either choose to save Addie, who has a family of diabetes, or Alan, who's the only dude who just basically disappears from the world of radar. And I know, it's kind of tricky to decide, and after a few, maybe 2 or so minutes, he pulls on Addie's side, and Alan gets hanged, which he dies quickly. I don't know why he dies quickly, but probably because the noose on his neck is a barbed wire or something. Yeah, then Addie, his cuffs gets free and she thanked him. But William says you need to find a way out of there. Yeah, William, even though she's on a plank! Dumbass! Oh, my Lord. So, yeah. So, he finally gets another bomb cleanse off and notices this one saying a final decision. And cuts a flashback to show John and William meeting one last time, where John won on a cover on an experimental tree. But William denies it and tells him that he should go to like other countries to try doing the cancer surgery treatment. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically what he does anyway in Saw X. Hence why the movie is being made like that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you all can thank William Easton or not. Thank you, William. You can still go fuck yourself. Anyway, so he talks about something which randomly led him to say there are none or something, I don't know, but yeah, he even talks about piranhas and something like that, I don't know. Yeah, meanwhile, it shows that Pamela Jenkins, it shows another scene where Pamela Jenkins is talking with Joe Tuggs, or finally tracked down Joe Tuggs and talks to her about something, but it left her note. What's that note? You'll find out later. But yeah, then she walks back to her elevator, but then gets kidnapped by the pig mask, and reveals that she's on the other side of the cage where Brent and Tara are at. So yeah, and also Hoffman is spying on all 3 of them in a 2-way mirror, because obviously. Then we cut to yet another I dropped this flashback. This time in where Saw 3 before it all started. Showing Hoffman and Amanda coming face to face, which is actually the first time in the franchise. And they are setting up the rack trap from Saw 3 with Timothy Young and all. And Amanda asked Hoffman when's his trap, but he said he doesn't know that. And although they had a little grudge on each other, and Amanda tells her that she ain't gonna go anywhere, but Hoffman's like, you sure about that? Yeah. However, when Amanda and John was about to go get Dr. Lindenen, Jill comes around and asks him to stop this whole problem. He does not. Because he's John fucking Kramer. But that was the last time that John and Jill ever met or see each other. However, he gives her a key. The key was the same key to open the box in Saw 5. My God. Then he was in the next trap, which I'm going to call this the Steam Maze trap. And I will explain why in a second. Which he met his company's lawyer, Debbie, who has a device on her torso that will shoot her if she doesn't get free in 90 seconds. And William has to guide her through it. However, during the whole maze, there is some steam coming around. However, William can sacrifice himself to get her free from the steam. Which yes, burns like hell because it is steam. However, when they finally get to each other, William tries finding the key. However, Debbie sees photos revealing that this is inside William and on the side of her hip, which he found that he had stitches on earlier back at the breathing room trap. Then Debbie has a buzzsaw and like a crazy person, he tries to kill him just to get the key. But the time runs out and Debbie got impaled through the chin out on the top of the head, which kills her. Then he grabs the key, which leads to the fourth and final trap, which is quite possibly the most famous trap of all the Saw franchise, aside from the reverse bear trap. That trap being the shotgun carousel trap. Which has 6 people riding the carousel, and Billy the Puppet, not John Kramer, but Billy the Puppet tells him that only 2 can get off. And the only way on how he'll do it is that he has to push the button, which will stab his hand. And the gun will move up, shoot in the air. But if he doesn't, then it'll shoot at the person whoever is in front of it. And yeah, the first one, Aaron was the first to start off with. And of course, like a crazy person, he screams out, "Push the button!" But no, he gets shot in the torso or chest. And yes, everyone panics about it, and it's Emily's turn, another one of the girls. And William decided to push the buttons and save her because she mentioned her 2 kids. And see, people, if you want to win, mention that you have kids, because if they know that you have kids, they'll save your ass. However, everybody tries to convince William to push a policy to save their lives. Including the next girl Gina, screams that she's pregnant, but everyone else is saying that she's lying. Which is kind of my favorite part of this trap. I don't know why, but I think she is indeed lying, because she doesn't look pregnant. There's no way she could be recently pregnant. But she was, and oh my god, Saw, you just made me look like a dickhead. And yes, she dies, unfortunately. And possibly a baby, who knows. And next one was Dave, and he had and panically to push the policy. But of course he does it and shoots him. And the gun shoots him. Then there was two people who left, Josh and Shelby, that are the last for William to choose who lives and dies. And he chose Shelby over Josh, which he pegged, so he uses So he decides to use his last moments of his life to tell him that his policy is BS and such. And he dies. Meanwhile, there's Erickson, Agent Perez, and Hoffman goes to the investigation room, showing that, yeah, there's tire. It's the truck wheels again, the toy truck again. Showing that there's these screaming the voice of someone saying, "Right now you're feeling helpless," which is gonna be clever, which is basically a foreshadowing about what's gonna happen next once they found out what the voice is. But there is something I want to talk about that is bugging me in this scene, because just before Hoffman's voice is revealed on that tape, Erickson says that when he left his fingerprints on the latest victim, Strong was already dead. So, to anyone who is very clever with this movie, ask me, what the fuck did he mean? Like, did they found out that Strong was dead because of the fingerprints? Or what? I think that's it, I think, but I don't know. And yes, his voice is real. Yeah, which then Hoffman goes on a rampage, killing him. Killing Sahi, by using her as a shield from Agent Perez's gun. Then he stabbed me. Also, by the way, he throws Mug at Agent Erickson. No. Oh my god, I know I'm being too quick, but shut up. First, he throws coffee at Agent Erickson's throat with a knife. Then pours coffee on Agent Perez, which he then shoots at Hoffman, but he uses Shotzi. He has a shield. Then he has Perez with the knife and asks him who else knows, which Perez says everyone, but he thinks she's lying. Then she goes over to grab Strong's hand and use fingerprint and then grab some gasoline as well and pour gasoline everywhere, especially mostly on Erickson because that is a brutal thing to do. And yes, obviously, he gets burned alive. And who knows what Hoffman is going to do next after all that. Yeah. Then as William is getting closer and closer to closer to his family, Brantara decides to try to pull the lever anyway. Which does nothing, because the timer has run out. And yeah. And eventually William does get to his family. But shockingly enough, it's only Pella Jenkins, his sister, that he was trying to save her. And I know what you're wondering. Then why is Brett and Tara a part of this? Because the fire they mention is the same fire that will... Hold on. Oh, Harold Abbott, yeah, because Brett and Tara are Harold Abbott's wife and son. showing further in flashback that after he left, they found out that Brent and Tara learned about, but yeah. And we'll get back to them in a second because I forgot to mention it earlier. Hoffman got back to his lair just to see the ending of this whole hullabaloo and found a note, which finally reveals that note that not only did Amanda read that made her cry in Saw 3, but also what Pelma shows Jill. And that's that apparently on the same day that Cecil killed Jill's baby, Amanda was part of it and was forcing him to get the drugs. And yes, the obvious reason why Hoffman knows is because he's a goddamn cop. And yes, he wrote that note and all. And he threatened to tell John about it had Amanda not killed Lynn Denlin. And hence the reason. And yes, we all know how that ends. And he ended up getting John and Amanda dead so he could be the last Jigsaw standing. But then Jill walks in and turns on the electric chair that apparently Hoffman was on, and he passes out. Then shows that the last thing that was in her box was another version of the reverse bear trap, which he puts on Hoffman. Then tells him that John left him 5 notes, while the 6th one was for Jill herself. Her final wish is that John is supposed to be putting one last trap just for him. Also, meanwhile, before then, and John gets on the TV screen telling Tara that she has the choice to either willing to live or die. And John gets close and asks her to forgive him, which activates the lever. Or something that can then be useful for something. Happen. And Tara decided to do this not because she doesn't forgive him, but because he doesn't want anyone else to die because of his stupidity. But then Tara decided not to, and Brian says, "But I can. You killed my father, you motherfucker." Pulls the lever and says that now you will burn in hell. And I'm really wondering, what does the lever do? Well, not only will it activate the reverse bear trap 2.0 that Hoffman is on, but apparently it will activate a few neos that is above the mainly Williams side of the ceiling. Stab him right in the back, and had some hydrofluoric acid, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, will basically burn his body in half, which does. And it shows a flashback of, this whole hullabaloo mess, while Bran, Tara, and Pelma all cry, despite, Bran and Tara getting payback on him. I know it doesn't help out, but yeah. Then Jill tells Hoffman game over, closes the door as the trap his trap goes on. Starts off in 60 seconds, which will kill in 60 seconds. However, with the will to live that Hoffman has, he headbutts his hand so he can get out of the straps that he's stuck on. But with one problem. There's no keyhole for the trap. However, during his best to escape the whole thing, it shows flashback and such showing that it could be possibly the end of Mark Hoffman. But nope, it wasn't. Because at the last second, he busts through a bar window and basically Hold on, I'm gonna show you this just for the fuck of it. And he ends up like that. And after like probably 5 seconds, he finally gets the trap off him, which, you know. But yeah, basically half his cheek got burst open, and the movie he ends with all the game of a closed door, with him getting on his knees and screaming pain over his bust up cheek. However, if had you all continued to the after credits, you would know that there's only one scene left to see in the Saw ending, which is in the after credit, which shows that Amanda walked over by the door to where Jeff and Lynn's Star Corvette is in, and through the keyhole, she tells her, "Don't trust the one who saves you." And that person being Mark Hoffman. Now, I know y'all gonna be like, "Oh, Dylan, that doesn't go anywhere." But think of the theory. Because if you think about it, think about it with me. What if later on, after the save, he told, when she was in the investigation room and he was talking with the officers, and mainly Agent Perez, and told her that a woman tells her to not trust the person who saves herself. Hence, maybe that's why when the Billy the Puppet face blew up on Perez's face, maybe that's why she said Mark Hoffman as her last words and all. Which led to what you heard about in Saw 6. Yeah. The movie, it is good, and the traps are kind of good, but I'm not a huge fan of the healthcare one. So this is basically the most underrated Saw movie, in my opinion, that I reviewed now. And yeah. So get ready, y'all, because we got 3 more songs left, and then we get to see the movie once it comes out. Anyways, thank you for watching today's episode of the Bye Guy Reviews. Here's my social medias. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.